All right, I'll tell you why this structure doesn't work, and it's basically the same two reasons that Adriana and Haley gave us about wordiness and weakness. In all sentences, you have two basic parts. You should have learned this in elementary school. Do you know what every sentence has? That's correct. Very good. Subject, predicate. Subject is always what part of speech? Noun. Predicate is always what part of speech? Verb. You always have a noun and a verb. If you break a sentence down into its core parts, if you take all of the additional adjectives, modifiers, helping verbs, everything out, you'll have two words, a noun and a verb. That is the foundation of your sentence, that is the strength of your sentence, and if those two words work, if they are specific, direct, and active, your sentence is strong. If they're weak, vague, your sentence is weak. We've seen this with there. I ask you not to use there as the subject of your sentence because it is weak. And in a prime position, the position of central noun, you've included weakness. And if you include there as the subject, what verb are you including? To be, is. The weakest verb in the English language. I tell you not to use there as the subject of your sentence because at the key positions, it's weak. What is the key pair here? You want it to be Mildred thinks. And that is a dependent clause. It's not the independent master clause of the sentence. The master clause of the sentence involves, Phil? Example is. Weak verb and what? The word example is not important. What's important? Mildred thinks. That's important. But right now, Connor has written a sentence where his primary focus, the spotlight of the sentence, is example is. Amma. Yes, for example would do it perfectly. So, Control D, please. I'll show you. Type for example and then a comma. We no longer have a noun-verb pair. We no longer have a clause. Adriana is correct. I took out the is. We no longer have example is. Now we have an introductory prepositional phrase. I know those are grammar terms and they're already scaring you, but you can begin a sentence before you get to your subject or predicate with a prepositional phrase. If I say, after the rain, the snow melted, what is my subject and predicate? Snow melted. After the rain is just an introductory phrase. If I say, for instance, we learned how to diagram sentences, what's my subject predicate? We learned, and for instance is just introductory transition material. It's not the core of your sentence. Now, Connor's sentence still includes the word or the idea of for example, but it's just transition. It's just sort of less important transition. The important part of his sentence is now Mildred thinks. We've also taken out the word that. That subordinates Mildred thinks. It makes Mildred thinks less important. And now it's stronger. Another an example is. I know you have them because I've marked them. Bailey? After Bailey's example, we are moving to number 9, avoid empty pronouns. So look for a pro-ref, especially around the word it. Possibly, yeah. What's the rest of that sentence, Alma? Yes. Pro-ref, but not all pronoun references. Specifically look to the ones that circle the word thing. I'm sorry, it, not thing. It. No, then that's not your empty pronoun. It's a confusing pronoun. It's unclear, but it's not empty. We'll talk about the empty issue as soon as we've finished with Bailey's example here. Control D, please. Thank you. So, another example is that if the story was told in first-person perspective from a person from the area, would think he is up to no good. I know that the sentence may present some strangeness in other areas, but let's just look at the another example is. Remember, another is still the same structure. It doesn't matter if it's another example or an example or one example is. It's all the same structure. How do you want to fix it? Jessica? Yes. However, here's one little suggestion, Jessica. The word another actually adds some meaning, right? It's different from an, because another is a different word. What word would you begin the sentence with to keep that meaning? Also. Start your sentence with also. There you go. And comma after also. It's an introductory word. Yeah. So there you go. Good. Also, if the story was told in first-person perspective from a person from the area, would think he is up to no good. There's, like I said, there's some confusion down the line in the sentence, but now it starts off very clearly. By the way, technically, this is the subjunctive. That should be were. Good. Come on, change it. It's driving me nuts. Were. Space. Thank you.
Are you like a nitpicker?
If you hear fingernails on a chalkboard, do you react? Yeah. Okay, that's how I react to those mistakes. Empty pronoun. Thank you, Amma. All right, let's pass it over to Adriana.